Most firms survive, the best ones scale. Welcome to the Managing Partners Podcast, where law firm leaders learn to think bigger. I'm Kevin Daisey. Let's jump in. All right, we're recording here. I got a cool guest today. It's actually a special day for this guest that's on the show here. I always like to do this every once in a while. Everyone listening, obviously, have had lots of veteran law firm business owners talking about what they've done that's helped them grow their businesses to exponential growth and things like that. But I love bringing in folks on that are new at business and took the leap recently and are just in the start of their business right now. So that's exactly what Monica is doing right this second when we connected and just got to hear her story. And so she's on here today to talk about what it's like right now in the trenches of being a new entrepreneur and running a law firm. So Monica, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for having me. I'm very, very excited. And, you mentioned it's a special day. I never thought that like a year, like the anniversary of starting the firm I would be recording a podcast. So that's really, really cool for me. So I'm very grateful to be here. But just a little bit about me, like a background, I guess. I can introduce myself.
Well, first, everyone listening, let's say congrats. 1 year today. So that's pretty cool. And this podcast is all about running a business, and especially for law firms. So I just had my 8th anniversary for Array Digital, about a week or so ago.
Yay.
I've been in business for almost 20 years. Official brand name, Array Digital, 8 years. But 1 year, Monica, that's awesome. So congratulations.
Yeah. Thank you. It actually feels like just yesterday. It's so crazy. But at the same time, I think about the last year, and it's just been a roller coaster of everything.
And that's what we were talking about.
Yeah. I have a lot to say. But it's
introduce yourself first. Let's do that. And so people know who you are and how they can find you and what you're about.
Yeah. So I'm based in West Palm Beach. My name is Monica Ishak. I started the Ishak Law Firm. I primarily focus on criminal defense. I started my career off at the public defender's office in Palm Beach County, which is my hometown, a very special place for me. I don't think a lot of people have the opportunity to go back to their hometown and actually practice and serve their area. So that was a really great thing for me. And being in public defense obviously paved the way for criminal defense for me. And it just taught me a lot as, a person and, professionally as an attorney. So that was pretty cool. And then I went into insurance defense for a little bit. And then I went back to private criminal defense working for somebody, and then found myself back in-house as an insurance defense attorney again. And then I was like, I can't do corporate anymore. I gotta start my firm. So it was March of last year. I think it was my last day there was March 2nd or something. And I incorporated my firm almost immediately, obviously March 18th. So that's the 1 year. That's where the 1 year comes from. But I didn't get my first client until June. So that's another part of the story, because that's what I'm saying. It's it feels like it was just yesterday that I would have gotten my first client, because it basically was.
Wow.
Yeah.
What a cool story. And by the way, I love Palm Beach. Great place. I usually go there once a year. And so just a great spot. Luckily, my wife's company takes us there every year for kind of a retreat. So love the area. I'll be down there soon in April. So
that's coming up. And the weather's great this time of year. So you're coming at a great time.
It's about perfect. It's not too hot, and it's just, the nights are a little bit cooler, and it's just perfect, I think. So
it was 53 degrees this morning.
It's cold here right now when we're recording.
Freezing.
So it's March 18th. We're recording this. If you're watching this, it might be maybe in April at this point, depending on when it goes live. So celebrating her big day, 1 year in business. This is what it's all about. Talk about, so you went a few months without a client. What were you doing during that time? And kind of what was some of those struggles or kind of scary moments there with getting started?
So many scary moments and so many struggles. So I first started obviously just kind of doing the basics, incorporating my business. I previously had a side business, so setting up a business part wasn't too hard for me. I kind of already knew how to do that, but it was before it was a side business. It wasn't my full-time thing. So I wanted to kind of invest more into this. So I reached out to some people who I went to law school with that had their firms already established. And I was like, hey, what do I need to do next? And they were like, you should probably hire a trademark lawyer. And, they kind of guided me a little bit in like protecting my brand and all those things. And then I was just like, I guess I'll print my business cards. I guess I'll go and create my website and like just do kind of like those things. And then I was like, I don't really know how I'm going to get my first client. I just was like, I think I did it really without fully planning out how I was going to like get my first clients. I just kind of contacted as many people that I knew, and I was like, hey, this is what I'm doing now. But at the same time, I did feel a lot of, because I hadn't done this before and I am like the first lawyer in my family. So that also kind of like, I don't have as much experience in like creating your own firm and all those things. Like, you come from a family of lawyers, you kind of have that background. But I ended up just like winging it, honestly. I kind of just winged it. And I was like, it was just a lot of anxiety. And I think I was feeling a lot of like imposter syndrome. So I wasn't really stepping into my power. It was actually, I think I didn't really do that until probably the fall time, like maybe August, September. And then I was fully embracing, like, I'm a firm owner. I just think I was like, well, I have my own law firm, but I don't have clients. Like, that's not a real thing. You know what I mean? So I was telling myself that story. And I think that was like repelling kind of the people from me, because I think people can see that you don't really like believe in what you're saying when you say that you're doing something. So that was kind of my struggle in the first few months. It was really my mindset. But yeah, when I got my first client, I was like on cloud nine, but then I quickly got that case closed out. So I was like, okay, great.
What do I do now?
Find more.
That's interesting. That's interesting. I mean, I started my business with zero plan. I was young and I just had the idea, and that was enough at the time. And you just kind of jump into it.
Yeah.
And then you go, oh crap. Now I'm flailing around trying to figure things out.
Yeah.
So my path was very similar to that. But I think it was interesting too, like when you said like like you just didn't believe yourself even. And yeah, that's, if you don't have confidence and you don't walk around with it or speak it, yeah, you're going to have a tough time bringing on clients and signing that client. I know I'll have that problem if a law firm I'm talking to doesn't have confidence when I'm talking about for marketing or executing on something. It's going to scare them right away for sure.
Exactly. And that was kind of what I was struggling. I think that was like my first 6 months was me trying to get over that hump of like, it was really just like a mental low for me at some points, because I was like, am I even really cut out for this? A lot of like doubt. And like, the thing is, I know that I'm a great criminal defense lawyer. It's not even a question about that. It's a matter of, can I compete with all these older, more seasoned attorneys that kind of fit the bill of what a criminal defense attorney also looks like? Like, who's going to want to hire this like younger girl that is just like not, like, I'm not kind of the typical face of an attorney when people meet me. They don't, and especially a criminal defense attorney. So, I just kind of was telling myself that story, and I was discouraging myself for the first 6 months, and it kept me from getting what I needed to get done. But I was basically just kind of in the setup phase at the same time. So while I was doing that, I also got a contract from the public defender's office to take on some cases. And even though that wasn't like a crazy amount of money, obviously it's limited funds, it kept me busy because I got 20 cases at once, and then plus that one private case I got. So that was keeping me busy and that's what I'm saying, around like fall time. And then I had my first, one of those cases, I guess my first jury trial in solo practice, which was pretty cool in August.
It's awesome.
Which I love trial. So that kind of like reignited this thing in me, where I was like, yeah, I can do this. This is what like, that needed to happen, for me to just kind of get back into the headspace I needed to be in to continue. And after that, I kind of just hit the ground running. I started posting. I was like really stepping in to what I should have been doing before, but I was like, oh my God, what are people going to think of me and all these things. And it's like, I know, like, whatever, certain things are cringe or whatever to some people. I don't really care. But at the end of the day, I'm running a business. They're not paying my bills. I have bills to pay. I have things to do. Like, I just can't let other people's opinions or like the fear of their opinions get in the way of like the work I have to do. So that was like the moment that happened to me like 6 months in. And I was like, thank God, because that almost took me out.
Well, we can get in our own heads, and honestly, I think, you have to go through those things. So I think because you come out the other side going, wait a minute, bull crap, you're going to have failures, setbacks, all the time. Happens all the time to me. Been in business for a long time. And you have those moments where you're like, man, why did that happen like that? Or why didn't we get this client here, or whatever it might be. But is how fast you rebound and use that to either make improvements or to double down on what you're really there to do. So
yeah, exactly.
At least it didn't take you years to figure that out.
No, I definitely would have probably quit before getting there. Years. Like, I don't know if I could have sustained that. Like, it's hard. It's hard, especially because you don't know when your next client, like till now, I don't know when my next client's coming, obviously, but like it took a certain level of like confidence and belief in myself to retain clients and maintain that especially because like a lot of the clients I get are from other attorneys. So it's really how I present myself to those other attorneys that they're like, oh, that, or they know me from being in practice. But, most of them are people that have met me either on the internet or at a networking event. And they're like, oh, I like her, maybe I should send her clients and cases. And that's what's been happening. So that's, it definitely needed to happen. Very grateful that I, went through like kind of the valley of, I don't know if that's,
valley of death,
whatever we want to call it. But it was just, it was not a good time for me mentally, but it needed to happen for sure.
Yeah. It's just, you come out excited and then you have this like, whoa, wait a minute, a little reality sits in and, yeah. Part of the process, and we've all been through it.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah. So some attorneys I'll talk to, they'll be like, oh yeah, well, I had like a book of business that I took with me, or, they start well. Not the case for most out there. So, and so you're doing videos, you're doing, you're posting reels. So you're active, and then you're going out, you're networking, you're meeting other attorneys, you're carrying yourself as a firm owner, you got confidence. Obviously that's paying off for you. So.
Yes, exactly. And I also like participate. So I guess before, this is kind of what got me out of my funk, is I was in this mastermind of other entrepreneurs, and they weren't necessarily none of them were professionals. I don't think, like, a lot of them were just entrepreneurs, like founders of big companies. Nice. And it was a mastermind that just, we would meet, like, I think we would meet weekly and monthly, and we were broken into little groups, and then we had our like bigger group sessions, whatever. And then we also had like this retreat. But I was in a room with like, it was all women, but I don't think this really matters, but I was in a room with really powerful people. And like, it was very inspiring to me. And I don't think things happen. Like, I think everything happens for a reason. I don't think things are coincidences. I don't, and I was, what am I doing in this room? Like, what am I doing around these people? Like, how did I get here? Because there's like an application process for it. And like, I knew one of the people who started the mastermind. So I kind of think I just got lucky in that aspect. Like, they were like, come on in. They were their like kind of a business mentor. And it was kind of a wake up call. Like, okay, if I'm in this room, it's for a reason. And, I have like, I'm going somewhere. I don't know where, but it has to be up. Like, it has to be like in this realm. You know what I mean? So that was huge for me. That was a huge kind of wake up call as well. Like, that was another part of my journey that, maybe didn't necessarily shape any sort of specific business aspect. I learned a lot because they're like managing larger companies with like a lot of employees. I'm like starting as like, first of all, I have like a career, like a professional career. These like, they are like, their job is to be an entrepreneur and like manage people. And I don't know. It was just like a different perspective than what I'm usually around. I'm usually around a lot of professionals, lawyers, and it was something I really needed to be a part of. So I also am very grateful to have been a part of that, because it really it gave me also like the business mindset as well, because they're all about like delegating and like investing to grow. Because I think if I didn't do that, I would have probably been penny pinching everything. And, I've yet to pay myself. I'm in a position to, but I haven't done it yet, just because I'm hoping to reinvest it in the proper things. Like I just hired an assistant last week. They started. So that was also a great, like, it's a cool thing to say that like within year one, I was able to do that. And it was kind of a goal of mine to do that within year one. So it's just, and so far it's working out. Like it's my second person. The first person I hired didn't really work out, but I don't think I was really in a position to hire somebody at the time. And I didn't go into it with the right mindset. So I learned from that. And I waited a little bit and I was like, okay, when I'm for real overwhelmed, we will be onboarding some people. And now I'm in the era of like balancing and training. Like I'm balancing more, because I'm teaching somebody else how to do what I do, and kind of be an extension of me on the back end of things. But I don't know. It's just a lot of patience, a lot of like, I don't know. I got to stop and take a breath sometimes, because I'm like, how do people do this?
Today's episode is brought to you by Answering Legal. Now I just switched my company, Array Digital, over to Answering Legal, and it's made my life a whole lot easier. If I can't get to the phone, their 24/7 virtual receptionists take the call and take them through a full intake process, so we never miss new business again. Now, Answering Legal has been at this for more than a decade, and they specialize in answering phone calls for law firms like yours. They even have a brand new, easy-to-use app, and they integrate with all the top legal softwares and platforms. So, for my listeners today, we actually have a special deal of a 400-minute free trial offer of Answering Legal services that you can try out by going to answeringlegal.com/array. You can also call 631-437-4803 and use special code Daisey. That's my last name, Daisey. So go check them out, and let's get back to the show. Well, let me unpack a couple things there. I mean, for one, you've kind of, you've done some things, exposed some things early that most people aren't. And what you'll hear me or other business owners talk about all the time. And one is a mastermind or surrounding yourself with other people. As you start your business, like, the reason I started my business is because I got in a room like that, and I wasn't supposed to even be in that room because I didn't own a business. Well, I was doing like some freelance stuff, but I was like, man, who are all these people? Yeah. What's an entrepreneur like? And that gave me the motivation to be like, oh, whoa, I need to like step up my game. I work for someone else right now, and they're doing these cool things. But if you just surround yourself with family, they're going to help support you and like say everything's fine. You got to get out of that room and in a room with people like what you just did. And that's going to give you perspective. It's going to give you inspiration. They're going to support you on actually growing a business.
Yes.
So I think that was a huge move right there that you got in that room. And maybe some luck, maybe some fate, whatever, I'm not sure. But most people don't get exposed to that for a long time. I tell lawyers that have been in business for 20 years, am I already in a mastermind? No, never done that before. Like, so I think that's the biggest growth hack is mastermind groups.
Yeah. And
they don't have to be all lawyers, they can be anybody.
No. Yeah. And I think it not being lawyers, like I kind of needed that because, I know people locally that have their own firms, so I can and I have personal relationships with them. So I think that is important as well, but it's just different when you expose yourself in a different light, and it's running a business is the same, it doesn't really matter what you're doing. I mean, for me, I have to I'm also like the product at the same time. So I have to kind of do two things at once, but that's any service provider. So there's just a lot of different lessons I learned, and it was from people, and I was like the youngest one there. I think I was the youngest one there, which was another thing, because I was like, oh my, these people are like, they are successful, but they have also like some years on me, So I was like, am I like, how am I here? But
so it want to be in.
Yeah, exactly. It was a lot of imposter syndrome. Was the first day I was like crying when we left, we broke out. I went back to my room. I was crying. I was like, I do not belong here. And then the next day I was like, I'm so grateful.
And people are willing to help,
Yeah, exactly. And that's even, I think it was more empowering because it was all women too. So it was just a great experience. And it definitely just paved the way for me to kind of have a better mindset. And those are people I hit up still. I contact them all the time and I'm like, hey, what do I do with this? What do you think about this? So it's just great to have those types of connections and relationships, because I don't think they're easy to come by, No,
I mean, yeah, locally, if anyone's listening, I mean, there's some kind of group out there in your local area. Again, whether it's your kind of business or not, I've been in ones that are like all kinds of businesses, HVAC companies and all kinds of stuff. You can learn from all of them. They might not be exactly the same as you, but they're out there trying to get it done. They're trying to deal with some similar challenges. So just get out and meet people and get in the same room if you're starting out. For sure. And then you can find, local partners for things, marketing or websites or whatever it may be. You're looking for office space, like especially in your community, like all these are good relationships to have, get in with the bank, start building that relationship. So that's so powerful. I think you hired someone in your first year, which it took me many years, I think, before I hired the first person. And my first person was a bad hire as well.
Yeah.
So that'll set you back.
Yeah.
And so, you've accomplished a lot in the first year. I mean, that's mastermind, clients, first hire. So congrats.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Thank you. Yeah. And I think I only have like 1 or 2 contract cases from the public defender's office, but my caseload is at like almost 20, so like they're all privately retained. That's like a great like accomplishment, I think, for me. And I've collaborated with people who are local other criminal defense attorneys where we do trials together. So it's like, if I get paid, you get paid, I get paid, which is nice. Awesome. Like it's not a competition, it's a collaboration. And that's also what the mastermind taught me. It's like, that is the way to go. And, being cutthroat, it's not even really my energy. It's not my vibe at all. It's, the legal profession's kind of set up to be that way a little bit. They kind of train you to be that way in law school, I think, with like the way they, grade you. It's on a scale, on that curve or whatever, the bell curve, and all those things. But, I just find that there's so much value in collaborating with other like great entrepreneurs, as well as like lawyers and people who are specifically in your industry. There's no need to kind of compete with one another.
Completely agree. Actually, before this podcast, recording right now today, I had a competitor on the show. We were just talking shop about agencies and how we run our businesses. It was every single thing we talked about was could apply to your firm or any other firm. Doesn't matter if they're agency or marketing or law firm. Doesn't matter. It's all the same stuff. So
yeah.
Just talking shop, and I've had quite a few competitors on the show, and I'm friendly with a lot of them, and there's just no need, like, to think that I'm going to work with every law firm in the country. I don't want to.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And that's the other thing. It's like, what's yours is yours and what's mine is mine, and where we can collaborate, we can. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not trying to attract every criminal defendant in Palm Beach County, because, it's just better for all of us.
Although you might. One time I'll come down there to Palm Beach and I'll see your face everywhere, and she won't talk to me anymore because she'll be too popular.
No. I will never forget this. It's on my first year anniversary.
That's so cool. We didn't plan it this way, I swear.
No.
But that's why, I mean, Here's an interesting story. Rebecca, who works with me, she lives in Miami, and she's my operations director. And literally, she was traveling to see her friend up near you. So she was like off that day. And she said, just send me a text. She's like, hey, this Instagram just came across I saw this post on Instagram or something. And she said, looks like a brand new law firm owner. You should reach out to them. Maybe they could be on the podcast. And that's literally the reason I reached out to you. And we connected. So
that's so cool.
It was Rebecca, who lives down near you, that just came across your social post.
Well, thank you, Rebecca.
Yeah, Rebecca, thank you. I'll be talking to her a little bit, I'm sure. But yeah, she just having her ears open and watching and saying, hey, it's some post you did about being a new firm or something like that. I can't remember, but
yeah,
pretty cool stuff.
So now I'm always posting. I'm on LinkedIn, I'm on Instagram, I'm on TikTok, Facebook, I'm on YouTube, I'm on all the things, and I'm always trying to come up with new things to post.
Yeah, her stuff's great too, and so that's the thing. Like, so she's running a new firm. She is the product, right? She's doing the work. She's got to do marketing. She's got a website, which is better than most of the people that are listening right now, probably, site. Because I see bad websites all day. And she's cranking out content on all these platforms. And so anyone listening that says, like, I can't do it, or I don't have the time, or it's not important, or I shouldn't, it doesn't work, bullcrap,
Yeah, it definitely does work. It's like actually I've turned off during this time while I'm training, because I want to make myself available to my assistant. I've turned off all my lead sources, which gives me a little bit of anxiety, a lot of anxiety.
And everyone listening just got anxiety.
Yeah. So I'm like, God, please send a referral source to me. Just please, someone send me a case, please. But it'll come. It's not that, it's not like I'm pressed right now. If I am, I'll turn my lead source back on. But it's just, I do need to, I can't have my phone ringing off the hook all day when I'm trying to be on screen sharing and teaching somebody something. So I need to kind of cost benefit analysis, make that decision. So
again, sophisticated decisions you're making at an early stage in your business to step back. I think that's a harder thing to do, is to step back and throttle on purpose and be like, I got to focus on these things. I'm terrible at that myself, but that's why I have other people and business partners and a lot of employees. But sometimes you just need to do that and step back and say, hey, let's reevaluate, let's take some time, or go take a walk. You know what I mean? I think it's hard for some of us to do that. So
yeah, for sure. I can't catch my breath on some days. I forget to drink a water. Yesterday I was between court meetings, going on training, going to another meeting, and I was like, oh my God, I was so exhausted at the end of the day. But then I have days where I'm and now they're so quiet and chill, and I'm I am so grateful for days like this. The first few months, I was that was all I was living. I had so much time on my hands. I was doing nothing, pretty much, trying to come up with things to do, and the courage to do it. And then now I'm if I can get one quiet hour to write a motion. So now I work on weekends, obviously, because during the week, it's just so hectic. I'm between all the courts and meetings and client calls and new client calls. And it's
we signed up to get to work less when we started our company.
Yes. It's so true. And it's so funny because when I was insured, I was in insurance defense in-house, but the job that I left right before I started my firm, I was working so much. I was working so much that I did not see my family. I was getting paid so well. And I had all the funds to do everything I wanted, but I didn't have the time to do everything I wanted. And I was living in this beautiful high rise in downtown. It was technically on paper, everything was there, but I just wasn't doing what I loved. So I was okay, I need to get back to that. And then I was you know what? I feel I have this entrepreneurial spirit. I'd already had my side hustle. I thought I knew something about business which kind of, I did have some business lessons learned. I used to discount my pricing before people would get on the phone. Then I would hear them, I discount it even more. And then I'm giving them something that giving them a really great deal. And then I'm why did I do that? Then I end up doing all this work for what? it was a wedding planning business. So it was also a service-based business, but that needed to happen for me to not do that now, so that I didn't make some mistakes along the way. But yeah, back to that, I was just, I was working all the time, and I was like, I want my own schedule. I want to be in control of and now it's like I'm hiring people and I'm contracted. I mean, I hired one person, but I have contract with like people that keep me in line with like my social and like things like that. And, they make me work, and I want that. But at the same time, it's like, I just want to catch breath sometimes. But I can't do it because it's like my business is on my mind all the time.
Well, yeah, so it's, but yeah, if you love what you're doing it for yourself, it's not the same as work, like for someone else. It's not the same.
No, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you're excited when you wake up and you want to do work for your business or your firm, there's nothing wrong with that. And I think, but we're always working. So,
yes,
people that don't have they're not entrepreneurs. They just, you get to do whatever you want, anytime you want, take off anytime you want.
That's a joke.
Not how it happens.
I don't leave anywhere without my laptop, just in case.
I'll be down in the breakers near you soon. And my laptop always comes with me no matter where I go, no matter what. Yeah. Any country.
Yeah. Yes.
If I leave for a day, an hour away, I'm probably going to take my laptop with me. So
yeah,
just never know.
You just never know. You never know. Could be money.
Could be money, a client, whatever. So
yeah, exactly.
Well, Monica, man, I appreciate you coming to share your story, and it's awesome. It's inspiring, and I feel it'll wake some people up that are listening.
Yeah,
that are maybe in a rut, or they're stuck, or they're trying to grow. Even my veteran listeners that are already crushing it. We're always looking for a better way to improve and to be, relight the fire and get things going. Sometimes we get stuck. So
yeah.
But I appreciate it. It's really cool. So everyone, please follow Monica. Go check her out and support her business. If you're down in Florida, I know a lot of attorneys down in Florida. If you can refer her anything, please do so. And again, let's try to support her business and her firm. So
thank you.
What's the best way for people to find and connect with you?
So I'm on everything. My her handle is lawyer.monica on Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. Nice. And then my LinkedIn is it's linkedin.com/Monica-Ishak, or you can just write my name, Monica Ishak, on LinkedIn. I'm very active on there as well. And then my website, theishaklawfirm.com. And then my phone number is 561-316-8433.
We'll see you on billboards soon, all across Florida.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much. Yeah, please, everyone, if you can, support Monica, reach out, say hi to her, support her, and refer if you can. And I'll be checking in on her, too, to see how she's growing and how she's doing, and it's awesome to see. Congrats again on one anniversary, your first anniversary. And
yes, thank you. It's such a special day.
We'll keep tabs on you, see how you're doing.
Yes.
All right, everyone, please be inspired, get out there, and grow your firm. It's a fun place to be, and you should be excited where you're at. So, Monica, thanks so much, everyone. We'll see you soon.
See ya.